Westminster Palace in London, the seat of Parliament, is the painting's central focus. Originally, the building was a royal residence, up until 1512, when a fire destroyed the royal apartments. However, the first sessions of Parliament were held here as early as 1265, next door to the King's Chambers. Although Westminster Palace is still owned by the King, he cannot enter the lower house of Parliament. The last monarch to visit the House of Commons was King Charles I, who was subsequently executed by parliamentary decree. On his last visit, Charles I wanted to arrest several MPs, but when he burst into the chamber with his guards, he saw that those MPs had been forewarned. The King had to admit, "I see the birds have flown away." A distinctive feature of this painting by Monet is the presence of numerous seagulls in the foreground. In its legislative activities, the British Parliament put special focus on the protection of these typical inhabitants of London and its surroundings. At the same time, wild seabirds had a more privileged position compared to other birds. At the time the painting was executed, the Seabirds Preservation Act had been enforced since 1869, prohibiting hunting and the destruction of nests and eggs. In general, British lawmakers consistently established a legal regime for wild animals. The King's right to own swans, based on a 10th century custom, is known to date back to the time of Edgar the Peaceful. Interestingly, the titles of the British monarch still include the position of Lord of the Swans. The so-called gentleman's animals also have a special legal status in Great Britain. Monet's painting depicts fog with smog, resulting from the incessant operation of factories and chimneys in London's residential houses. At that time, the city suffered from frequent smog, which was driven by the Industrial Revolution and the resulting air pollution. This prompted lawmakers to pass a series of acts to address the issue. In particular, the Smoke Nuisance Abatement Act of 1853 introduced penalties for factories that emitted excessive amounts of smoke in London. The final solution to the problem of London smog was established by the Clean Air Act of 1956, which banned the use of smoky fuels, especially in densely populated areas.